Welcome back to another video on the OPEL Manta GTE exclusive. In this video we're going to be trying to get this car running under its own steam, first time in 30 years. We did have a bit of trouble on the last episode where the car actually conked out on us. A bit of a fuel starvation issue, some issues with the fuel pump and some fuel pipes. So today is a new day. It's a little bit drier, still wet, but it's not raining at the moment. Maybe we'll get a bit of rain, but we're going to crack on anyway. And hopefully this time we can get this thing running and driving. I'm going to give it a good blast around the yard. Get a few stabs on the brakes, see how the brakes work. Make sure there's no unwanted noises from the diff, any of the wheel bearings. Make sure all the gears work, see how the clutch feels, and all that sort of stuff. This car will be getting a full mechanical overhaul. The engine is going to be stripped. Cylinder head's going to be coming off, all the fuel lines, all the brake pipes and all that sort of stuff will be getting replaced. So what we're doing today is just for the purpose of the video. It is just for video purposes and to test the operation of certain things on this car. So before we begin, I am going to answer a few frequently asked questions on the previous episodes. There was a couple of the comments there getting a little bit disgruntled with some of the things we did on the previous episode. So first off, we're going to start with some of you guys, quite a lot of you guys, was going on about running this car on brake cleaner. Yes, we did get it running on brake cleaner when we first got it. The reason for that was I wanted to just see if the engine ran, I wanted to see what it sounded like, make sure that it did actually run. There wasn't any banging, clanging or anything like that. We did only run the car for around 20 or 30 seconds on brake cleaner. And again, I wasn't too concerned because the engine is getting stripped. You can't just expect to get a car like this started that's sat for 30 years, do a few bits and bobs, change the oil, change the plugs, change the fuel, then expect it to run and last forever. It will want complete stripping. It's going to want a head gasket, it's going to want all the seals and everything replacing, and all the gaskets, some gaskets and all that sort of stuff. So that's the reason why we did that. I was going on holiday the day after we got this car running, so I was very pushed for time, so I didn't have time to start draining fuel and changing everything. It was pitch black, time was against us, so that's the reason why we ran it for 30 seconds or so on brake cleaner. Hasn't done any harm to the car, as you'll see in this episode. Everything is still fine on that side. Another one of the questions that was asked was, is this car a true barn find because the wheels look mint, the tyres look brand new? Yes, it is a barn find. Yes, the car has been sat for around 30 years. When I say 30 years, it was parked up in 1995. In 1995, these wheels was fitted along with these tyres, brand new wheels, brand new tyres. I think somebody had actually started to restore this car because it has been painted as well at some point. As you can see, the paint looks really good. It wasn't this clean when we got it. If you look back on the first episode, which I'll put a link to here now, it was covered in dust. And it was absolutely minging at that point. It has been washed and it has come up really well. Again, I do think it has been painted because there's no stickers or decals on this car. The indicators have been changed for some weird Ford looking indicators. I'm going to be putting the original ones on there. Wheels and tyres, yes, they was fitted in 1995. They was brand new when they was fitted, but as you can see there is some slight cracking coming through on the side walls and some slight bits of delamination and stuff coming through on the tyres now. Also, when it was parked up in 1995, it had a brand new Scorpion exhaust system fitted on it, which is a stainless steel system, so it still looks brand new. At this point, it's still even got the stickers on it, so I'm not entirely sure what happened with this car. It does look like somebody has done quite a lot of work to it back in 1995 or maybe a couple of years previous to that, and then I don't know, maybe change of circumstances, some personal issues possibly with the original keeper has prompted him to park this car up into the garage. I'm assuming he didn't expect to leave it for almost 30 years, but fortunately for the car it was dry stored and it has been kept pretty well. There is some rust coming through in the roof, as you can see there. It is not a pristine car. This needs dealing with. We will come back to this at a later date. I do have an option for this which we will show you in a later date, perhaps what we're going to do with that roof. This is a common rust area on the OPEL Mantas, so we will be coming back to that and dealing with that. There is also some rust just there in this bottom corner, so this is going to have to be repaired, and then we'll probably end up just painting the scuttle panel. I'm not going to be going too far with this car. It's going to be more of a recommission and a full mechanical overhaul to get this car fit for the road, back on the road, running, driving, stopping, MOT'd, good to go, and more of a survivor type car. It's not going to be a full nut and bolt restoration. There's also some rust coming through just on the bottom of the door here. I do have another door in this colour, which is quite a good door, so I'm hoping it's a good colour match. Maybe it won't be, because this car has been repainted at some point, so I'm going to try a door against this and see how it matches. If the colour's a mile out, then I'm going to be left with no option than to obviously replace this door and get this door repainted, and perhaps have to do a blend into the wing and into the rear quarter just to tie that paint back in. Now, on the last episode you'll have seen us trying to drive this car. Its first drive in 30 years. Now, we actually came to a stop and didn't really know why at the time, because it was pitch black. I'll just pop the bonnet open. So yeah, as I was saying, it was pitch black at the time when I was trying to drive this car. The day just got away from me. I do work full time as well, so by the time I got down and around to getting to this car to do some work on it, it was quite late, and I had to replace the fuel pump and some fuel pipes that had burst. So this is the first time I'm now looking at it. I've just got back from a holiday. I've been in Spain for a week, so first time I've looked at this car now in just over a week. So let's have a look and see what the problem was, why this car stopped. I did smell fuel, so I'm guessing there is another fuel leak somewhere, and I'm guessing that one of the fuel pipes has probably split around the injection manifold. So let's get some power on it. Let's get the ignition on. Let's prime this pump up and see if we can find some more leaks. I can see a drip there. Where's that coming from? Right guys, we've got a mixture of two things going on here, because we've also got fuel leaking from around this fuel pump area as well. So again, I suspect this is another pipe that's corroded, and again we will be going through all this at some point and replacing all these fuel pipes. So we'll get the car jacked back up, we'll have a look where this leak's coming from on the fuel pump area, and then we'll work forward and see also what's going on up at the front end and see where it's coming from. Up here there was a slight drip, and I'm not sure whether it's coming from this pressure regulator or whether it's coming from one of the pipes that attached to that. So let's start having a dig, let's see what we can find. Right, so the leak is coming from this pipe here, so we're going to be replacing that for now. Again, this is just for the purpose of driving this car around. So I'm just going to go and knock this ignition back off. Let's get that pipe whipped off and get it changed. So while I'm at this point, I thought I may as well just take the opportunity to get this old fuel out of the system. So I've disconnected the main fuel line there, and I've now drained off what was left in the tank of this old fuel. Can now get some fresh fuel in there. Right, so we've done those fuel pipes at the back end, we've drained the old fuel out. I've had a look at the pipe work here at the front, and there was actually a couple of pipes that was loose, so I've just tightened up the Jubilee clips. The pipe work actually looks okay-ish. Obviously, again, it is going to be replaced. This is just for the purpose of this video, to try and get this car driving. I do have some fresh super unleaded that we're going to be putting in this car now. So we'll chuck this in. Let's see if it starts, and we'll see if we can give it a quick run around the yard and get everything tested. Let's check the brakes, check the gears, see there's no rumbling or any horrible noises from the axles, and let's go from there. So let's get this fuel in. So that's the fuel in. Let's pop this battery lead back on. Let's throw the ignition on, get this fuel pump primed up, and let's see if we have any leaks. So far so good down that end. Quick look down the pump end. Looking good there too. This pump is a bit noisy. It is a used pump. It will be replaced. Again, this is just for test purposes. Does sound a bit ropey though, that pump, to be fair. But it is pumping. And so far we don't have any leaks. Still looking good up there. Right, let's see if she'll start. I do actually have the fuel pump bridged at the minute with what we used to call the 2p trick. It was a bit of an old trick many years ago, what a lot of these people used to use on these old Mantas when the fuel pump relay used to fail, or any other kind of failure resulting in the fuel pump not coming on with the ignition. Bridge these two fuses together and it actually bypasses and activates the pump on the ignition. So we've had to do that because the fuel pump wasn't activating, so we've done that to get that working. Try again. Right, so I just realised there, I actually had the injector relay unplugged because I was planning on fitting a new one, which I've now got. So it's probably the reason why it wouldn't start a minute ago. I have got the fuel pump bridged at the moment, which was the reason why I was changing this, because the fuel pump isn't actually activating with the relay when you turn the ignition on. So I've had to bridge the pump so it's on an ignition live. So now I've just replaced this relay. So let's try that again, third time lucky. And now we'll see if it starts. There it is. Oh, she runs, she's alive again. Right, okay, so I'm going to let this run now for 5 minutes or so. Let it get warmed up. Again, I'm going to check that there's no leaks. And then I'm going to have the second attempt of driving this around the yard. Hopefully, this time I might get a little bit of daylight still, because last time I tried to drive this, it was absolutely pitch black. The windows were steamed up. I only had one light working. I couldn't see where I was going, and it conked out in the middle of the yard. So, fingers crossed, this time, get a couple of runs up and down the yard, get some presses on the brakes, get through a couple of gears, and let's see what it does. Alright, so just let it run for a little bit, and I notice the temperature we're getting a little bit hot. This top hose is warm, and the bottom hose is actually stone cold, so I was assuming the thermostat's stuck. So just popped the thermostat housing off there. You'll probably see the inside there, rusted solid, pretty gummy. Yeah. So I'd say that thermostat is a little bit knackered. So again, for purposes of the video, I'm just going to take the inside of that thermostat out, just get a bit of water flowing, bang it back in just so it seals and it'll hold water, and we'll try again. Right, so let's see if we can now get this thing moving. Hopefully it should start. Here we go, and drive, get some gears. Just noticed this as well, this hasn't stood the test of time. 30 years has took its toll on that, it's all dried up and perished. Right, let's go for it. Oof. Clutch is a bit sticky, brakes are binding as well, so I'm hoping we'll free up. I'm hoping it's just all the rust that's on the front brakes at this point. Clear the screen. Brakes binding really bad. These front brakes is really sticking. Feels like the passenger side, if you watch, I put the steering wheel in a straight line and let go, the car is pulling to the passenger side. I think that's because that brake is binding. But the good news is, it runs, it drives. I also noticed while I was underneath it, there is a couple of exhaust rubbers that have perished. Bit of sideways action there. Speedo doesn't appear to be working either. Something else we'll have to come back to at a later date. Right, I'm just going to pull over now and just double check we haven't got any more leaks or anything. Now we've had a bit of a run around the yard. So far so good, don't appear to have any leaks. It's holding coolant, it's holding fuel, it's holding oil. We're not overheating anymore as we were earlier, so obviously that was the thermostat issue. So yeah, all that first successful run. Quick look under the back, make sure there's no fuel coming out from there. just going to give this a few more runs up, see if we can get this front brake to free off a little bit. The discs have started to clean up a little bit now. This side is definitely binding. I'll just give it a few knocks with the hammer just to free it up, and it does appear to be moving now. Obviously probably will stick again first time I press the brakes. I think the pistons are corroded in the brake calipers, but yeah, I'm going to give it a couple more runs, get a few more blasts, even get a few more gears, have a bit of fun, park it back up and get ready to move on to the next stage. Everything seems to be pretty good, to be fair, other than that brake that's binding. It has freed off quite a bit, to be honest, but still not perfect, but it is a hell of a lot better than it was. All the gears seem to work, there's no unwanted noises from the diff, anything like that. Gears seem to feel pretty good. We call that a good result. So now with that in mind, that gives us a bit of confidence to know that majority of this stuff's pretty good. We just want a general service in regards to the gearbox oil, diff oil, stuff like that, and obviously brake fluid, but then mechanically it will be getting gone through completely. But that's good to know now that everything seems to work pretty well, so I'm really happy with that. Happy days. So with the test drive over and done with, like I say, we're now confident that the most important stuff on this car works, and we can now begin to start looking into this mechanically. And the next plan for this will be to start to pull the cylinder head off, replace the cylinder head gasket, we'll get all the old oil out of it, rip all the old fuel lines out, get a brand new pump on there, all new filters, new brake lines, new drums, new shoes, new wheel cylinders, new front discs and pads. We'll send the front calipers off to be reconditioned and basically get this car mechanically sorted, get it MOT'd, get it on the road, give it a run around for a little bit, let it see some good old British roads again for a few weeks. And then this car will be put up for sale. We'll be moving it on to a new keeper. If you are interested in this car, feel free to drop me a comment. My email address is in the description. Pop me an email, let me know if you're interested. Get your name on this car, feel free to come and have a look at it. I'll put the kettle on for you, So don't forget to check out our other videos, guys. There's lots and lots of content on this channel, not just on this car, but on some of the other stuff that we're doing. There is lots and lots of videos to come. Some stuff a bit out of the ordinary. Something for everybody on the channel. So get watching. Check out our other videos. Don't forget to press subscribe. Hit that bell icon to get notifications on our upcoming videos. Hope you all enjoyed this video. I hope you all enjoy the recommissioning of this old Opel Manta. I'll catch you all on the next one.